Okay, now that we made it back to camp... There you are, Shale. And seriously, though, you're about literally the same height as me. Why do you feel taller when I talk to you? It must be perception. What's up with the heavy sigh, Shale?
Oh, that. Merely reflecting on the hopeless nature of the task in front of it. The most likely outcome is that it and its companions will become a stain on some rock for the Darkspawn to tread upon. I shall be moved to a single tear by the tragedy.
I'm glad to know you care, at least.
It's true. One single tear. And then it's off to the north, I think. Or maybe west. I haven't decided. What's that? Did it hear flapping wings? There may be pigeons nearby. We should be alert.
You're still with me, I see.
Yes, its adventures are interesting, even if the chances for success are remarkably slim. It would be better to throw oneself off a cliff, I suspect. Does it wish me to leave? I can, though I see no reason to go.
Don't... Actually... No, please stay. You're actually quite helpful.
No doubt. Without me, it would have to carry its inventory on its own. Perhaps we should continue. Its chances of success are small enough without further dawdling.
Too bad, I want to learn more about you. I've expected golems to be different.
Different? Different than what? Different than a statue? Different than a log? Should I talk in a monotone? Yes, Master, I exist to serve the Master. I shall kill for the Master and only for the Master. Perhaps it expected me to have a booming voice. Recite limericks. I can recite limericks, if it likes.
Really? Are they dirty limericks?
Mostly they involve slaughtering pigeons in creative and invasive manners. I have never met another golem. I have no idea what one might be like, or why I wouldn't be like them. Why? Has it met other golems? Did they not sound as I do?
Being different isn't too bad.
Did I say it was bad? It thinks I hang on its every word, waiting for approval. I don't know what other golems might be like, but I am already superior by virtue of my free will. This is a good thing.
It's an experience, I'll give you that.
So is being drawn and quartered. Maybe I'm not the only one with a smart mouth, Now stop talking so much. The wagging of its moist little tongue is distracting.
I won't lie, I want to hear that limerick about the pigeons. I have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
Are those crystals in your skin?
I like to think of them as accessories.
What do they do?
I suspect that it is an art that was practiced when golems were more, commonplace. My former master collected whatever lore he could find on the subject. He searched far and wide to collect what crystals he could and then added them. It is not an unpleasant sensation.
So... their decoration?
As I understand it, the crystals allow me to alter the flow of magic around me. Wilhelm had hoped to turn me into a battery of mana, something he could tap at will.
But can they do other things too?
Some of the crystals increase the presence of mana, some absorb or reflect spells. There are various kinds. All I can promise is that should it ever find one of these crystals, I can likely tell it the function and what it would do if added to me.
Would you want more?
Why not? I don't get to wear clothing and other adornments like the rest of you creatures after all. That answers its question, I assume? Unless it has more.
You watched that village for days and nights? For years?
I do not sleep, so yes. And I thank it for reminding me. Try to imagine, if it will, what it would be like to be surrounded by nothing but boring peasants, all oblivious to it.
Oh, come on. It could have been a little more interesting than that.
Oh, yes. It certainly was the height of intrigue to listen to the accounts of how young Dornan had scandalized the village by his purchase of an Orlesian hat. And the argument that those two muddy farmers had over the price of barley for a whole summer. Riveting. And then there were the birds. A whole village full of pigeons and ravens and sparrows all perching on me day in and day out.
Ah, yes. Your bird thing.
It is not a thing. It is a perfectly reasonable reaction to being constantly pestered. I was helpless to react. Those foolish villagers would spread birdseed near me, drawing the birds, because they thought having birds perch on me was quaint. Quaint! If there hadn't been the occasional kind soul to scour me clean, I don't care to discuss this anymore.
Okay, I'll give you that. I apologize for angering you. Some more questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
How'd you end up in Honnleath anyway?
Oh yes, that I remember quite well. My former master, the Mage Wilhelm, he brought me. As I recall, he had acquired some position with whatever lord ruled the land. I, being little more than a glorified possession at the time, was brought along. Oh, how he enjoyed impressing the villagers with me. Golem snarl at that villager there, be fearsome. And of course, I would have to do it.
Honestly, I think you'd enjoy scaring the humans.
I'd have happily stomped them all into paste, and then ripped down their little houses and stomped on them, too. In fact, after 30 years of watching them, I'd do it twice. What I didn't like was being ordered to do it. Dangled in front of those frightened morons like some scary thing. Once I was a statue, it took those villagers years before they'd even approach me. The first one to actually work up the nerve to touch me urinated himself. Ugh.
But why were you out in front of the tower?
That is where Wilhelm kept me. He wanted me out in the open where I could be frightening like a scarecrow. I was supposed to watch for thieves. Pah! Plus, his wife didn't want me indoors. She said there wasn't room for me. Hag.
His wife?
I was once larger, 10 feet tall. Then the loathsome hag complained that I couldn't fit through the doors. So the mage had me shrunk down. Can it believe it? And she still wanted me out.
How do you even shrink a golem?
With a chisel. And a lot of nerve.
I feel you didn't like Wilhelm.
He did love using that control rod. Fondled it so much, his wife actually threatened to throw it in the lake. Ha! I would have liked to have seen that. Which reminds me, where did it find the rod? Did it pay a great deal for it?
Wilhelm's wife sold it, I believe.
Hag.
Do you remember anything before Honnleath?
I traveled with the mage. He did a lot of traveling, I remember that. But where we went, it is rather fuzzy. I remember great battles, fighting many humans long ago. They were all very soft and squishy. And before that, No, there are only images. I was somewhere dark.
How old are you anyway?
I have no idea. Wilhelm used to brag that the dwarves stopped making golems centuries ago. I do not age as you soft creatures do. Sadly, my memory is no better. Plus, I get bored and stop paying attention.
Okay, I'm done asking about
Good.
that.
I was just about done.
Okay, Shale. Let's see if I can give you some stuff. I know I found some of those crystals. Okay, under weaponry, let's see. Let's equip this one first. Okay. Same amount of Oh, this natural crystal does more damage. Oh, these clear crystals are the good ones. The flawed ones seem to be relatively terrible. Only comparison. Large cleared lightning crystal. Yeah, I think that looks better. Oh, it actually determines that color. Okay, now I can sell some of these older crystals some of these cruddy crystals I don't need. Thank you.
If there's anything I can do for you,
Like to see your wares, my friend. Since these large flawless spirit crystal. Hold on, I think I missed something.
Ah, so, what does it think? They don't make me
Whoops.
look any wider, do they? I find I'm already too wide as it is.
Actually, they're quite slimming.
It must be the vertical pattern it put them in. Did it know to do that? It must have. I think it should find some more as soon as possible. I want to glitter from ear to ear, so to speak.
Okay, I'm about to try a different one. Okay, let's see, flawless spirit crystal. Here it is. This one's even stronger. +1 to all attributes. Spirit resistance. Basically, anti-magic. I'll keep the large, clear... your lightning crystal, but I'm going to sell the others.
if there's anything I can do,
Let me see your wares, my friend. Oops.
you and your friends are for. And you. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow.
Uh-huh. Sorry for not listening to you, man, but... yes, I do not need these. Large chipped one. Flawed. I'm keeping the cleared. That's selling these. Don't need that. Leather gloves. Okay, now. Remarkable old greenstone. I wonder if Shale would like it. I assume Shale likes stones.
Ooh, shiny.
I wonder if Shale has any interesting things for me to do for him. I have some questions.
Doesn't have better things to do.
I'm told you killed your former master. I asked you about this before, you didn't get much info. I want to hear about it now.
Did I not already tell it that I do not remember doing such? I remember having a master. My memories of what happened to him are vague.
Okay, before I continue this conversation, you do look actually pretty cool with those clear crystals. The spirit crystals. Okay, but those memories are vague, but not non-existent.
Clever and true. Oh, very well. Let me see what I can recall. My former master enjoyed experimenting upon me. I remember that much. There was tinkering with spells and then the crystals. He was very eager to alter my function, I think.
What sort of experiments?
Bah, I am no mage, and he did not explain himself to me, any more than it would explain itself to a sword. He possessed my control rod, and back then, it would have prevented me from doing anything he did not command me to, no matter how I might have wished to. So what happened? I am unsure. He was experimenting, and then nothing.
Are you sure nothing at all?
There was pain. I do not feel it as soft creatures do, so the memory is an odd one. And then he was gone. I was standing where I was, in the village, and I could no longer move. The villagers came, poked and prodded me in fear, and then realized they could neither move me nor destroy me, so they simply left me. And in time I forgot I hadn't stood there all along.
That must have been terrible. I'm actually sorry for you.
In fact, at first I found it more of a relief. For so many years, I'd had to leap to that little toadstool's every command. Get this, pick up that, put it down, pick it up again. The gall! At first, I'd hoped he'd simply decided to leave me there paralyzed. An acceptable trade-off. After years passed, I simply stopped caring.
Maybe that's something to do with your crystals.
Possibly. Except that he was not experimenting with the crystals at the time, I think. But my memory is not good. It may be correct. Whatever the mage did seemed to render the control rod useless, for which I should be thankful, yes? And provided it doesn't decide to copy his experiments, not that I would allow it, it is nothing to fear from me. Much.
Honestly, sounds good. I don't really like the idea of experimenting on allies.
The things that it fights, and it fights things often, that is a different story. Let us get back to the walking and the fighting. My stone is beginning to itch again.
No comment. Oh, your friendship increased. Maybe...
I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I have decided that it is not much like any of them.
But I am... Actually... Yeah, but I am human.
Technically, perhaps. But according to the many years I spent observing the average human in Honnleath, I doubt it has much in common with them. Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above its natural shortcomings?
My father was the Tyrant of High Everett. Does that count?
Oh, then that must be it. I knew there had to be some reason, it being a human and all. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless.
Yeah, I'll keep it to... I'll keep it to myself.
Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought.
Shale, you're fun.
It speaks.
Have some more questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
Nah, I guess I'm done talking to you. Let's check if you have anything for
Your
sale.
friend's a formidable foe.
Well, I didn't really look at your wares when I was selling. Okay. Weapons. Nah. Armor has some blood dragon stuff. Uncrushable pigeon. That sounds like a terrible gift for Shale, or a great one. I'll think about that. With how much money I got, I am thinking I get this. I'll wait a little more. But first, let's buy some. I'm definitely buying all these. No, I want all of them. Good, some more health postulaces. I wonder if Leo has any ideas to play with Shale. Okay, Leo. You want to have fun on your own, I understand. Oh yeah, there's one other thing I've been meaning to figure out is if I can switch enchantments. Yeah, I want some enchanting taken care of. Okay, Oathkeeper, can I okay, I can remove. Expert, novice. Okay, let's equip that. I can't use Starfang yet, so there's no point yet. It requires 31 strength? That's a little ridiculous. I give it to Alistair, I guess. I'd rather use it myself, but no, won't let me. Honestly, both of them are pretty good in their own rights. Wait, did I actually enchant it? Let me check. Yes, I did. Good. Frost ought to make me a little more deadly. Oh yeah, let me just open up my map, see where we can go next. Okay, we just finished up here in Honnleath. We could go... that's actually a tough choice. Sort of want to... I'm thinking maybe Redcliffe. Well, I think I'll decide after I think I'll discuss with all you guys and my team. Eamon, we'll see.